You're not broken. You're just tired of trying, tired of being the one who gives and watches everyone leave when there's nothing left to take. Maybe this isn't even pain anymore. It's just a quiet kind of ache, like a room that used to be filled with laughter and now only holds your silence. This is for you, the one who was never told goodbye, because they didn't even think you needed one. You were just left, not in a dramatic way, not with shouting or slammed doors, just forgotten. And maybe the hardest part is that no one noticed you fading. No one stopped to say, "Are you okay?" Tonight, I noticed, heaven noticed, and before this night ends, I need you to know something. But please, don't leave yet. Just stay with me, just for a moment longer. If you're still listening, this part is for you. Let's breathe. Let's be still. Let's invite the one who never forgets to come. Sit close to this heart that's been waiting in the dark. Okay, just for now, slow everything down. Take a breath with me, softly, gently, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop. Let your jaw soften. Let that tightness in your chest begin to melt. You're safe here. You're not being watched. You're not being judged. You're just being. Let's do it again. A little slower this time. Inhale peace. Exhale what you've been holding for too long. That's it. Let the air carry some of that silent heaviness away. I know how long you've been holding yourself together for everyone else. Smiling when your soul is tired. Showing up when you just want to disappear. Carrying the weight of being okay so no one has to worry about you. But right now, you don't have to be strong. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to prove you're worth staying for. Because someone already chose to stay. Even when they didn't. Even when they forgot. Even when they moved on like your presence was never part of their story. Heaven stayed. Jesus stayed. And I know those words sound soft, maybe too soft to match the pain you're carrying. But what if softness is exactly what your soul has been starving for? What if you don't need more noise, more answers, more pretending? What if all you need is someone who sees you and doesn't look away? So, here I am, still whispering, still praying, still here. For you, because somewhere between the silence they left and the ache you now carry, Jesus has been waiting, not rushing, not forcing, just staying. And now he's drawing near, not with a crowd, not with applause, but with presence. And maybe that's all this night is meant to be. Not a fix, but a moment of rest for a soul that's been exhausted from mattering to everyone except the ones you hoped would stay. So breathe again, just once more, and let your heart know it is not forgotten. You are not forgotten. Not tonight, not now, not here. There's a kind of pain that doesn't scream. It doesn't bleed on the outside. It just lingers, quiet, unseen. It's the pain of realizing you weren't worth a goodbye, that your absence didn't echo in their world the way theirs echoed in yours. They didn't block you. They didn't curse you. They just stopped calling, stopped checking, stopped showing up. And you tried to understand, tried to be gracious, tried to make excuses in your mind, like maybe they were busy or tired or just going through something. But deep down, you knew. You felt the slow fade. You saw the signs, the texts unanswered, the celebrations you weren't invited to, the inside jokes that no longer included your name. And it hurt, not in a dramatic way, but in a way that quietly broke pieces of you didn't know were breakable. Because you loved them, because you showed up for them, because you remembered their birthdays and held space for their sadness and prayed for their healing. And in return, they forgot you. They moved on, as if your chapters in their story were written in pencil, as if you were just temporary. And now, every time someone pulls away, you wonder if it's happening again. If you're too much, too quiet, too emotional, too something. You replay every conversation. You question your worth. You carry 1,000 unspoken apologies for things you didn't even do. That isn't fair. That isn't small. And no, you're not overreacting. This isn't nothing. This hurt is real. And I want you to hear this, even if no one else ever said it. You mattered. You were a good friend. You were present. You gave what you had. You stayed longer than you should have. You loved even when it wasn't returned. And none of that was a waste. You are not disposable. You are not forgettable. You are not too much or not enough. You're just someone with a beautiful heart that deserves better than being left behind without a word. Tonight, you don't have to justify your pain. You don't have to shrink it down to make others comfortable. You get to feel it. You get to grieve. You get to say, "This hurt me." And in that sacred honesty, you'll find something unexpected. God isn't afraid of your brokenness. Jesus doesn't back away from your tears. He doesn't need you to pretend it didn't hurt. He just wants to sit beside you and hold the pieces. The world may have moved on without you, but heaven never did. Not for 1 second. Even if they forgot, He didn't. Even if they erased you from their life, He carved your name on His hands. The Lord is close to the brokenhearted and saves those who are crushed in spirit. Psalm 34:18. That means right now, in this exact breath, He's not far. He's near. To this tired heart, to this lonely room, to this ache that no one else could see. He saw it all. The way you cried in silence, so no one would feel guilty. The way you checked your phone hoping for a message that never came. The way you pretended you didn't care, just to survive the day. But Jesus never needed you to pretend. He just needed you to breathe long enough for Him to whisper, "I'm still here." He doesn't need perfect words. He doesn't need a flawless prayer. He just needs this moment. And right now, I invite you to lean into that presence. Imagine Him beside you. Not distant, not disappointed. Just here. Maybe you're on the edge of your bed. Maybe you're lying down, curled in the same position you've been in for hours. Now picture this. Jesus sitting close, without saying a word at first. Just letting His presence fill the room, like warmth returning to frozen skin. You don't have to speak. He already knows. You don't have to explain. He already understands. He's not here to fix your loneliness with fake promises or shallow comfort. He's here to sit in it with you, to be the presence they weren't, to make sure you know you were never invisible to Him. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Matthew 11:28. Let that word sink into your spirit. Rest, not perform, not earn, not prove. Just rest. Let your breath be a prayer tonight. Let your silence be enough. Let your tears speak louder than your words ever could. He is not ashamed of them. He bottles every tear. He records every ache. You keep track of all my sorrows. You have collected all my tears in your bottle. Psalm 56:8. You were never too quiet to be heard. You were never too forgotten to be found. right here, in the stillness, in the almost sleep, you are being held. And if you're still listening, this is your sign. You didn't imagine the pain. You didn't make it up. But you also didn't lose your worth when they lost interest in you. That value never came from them. It came from the one who has never left and never will. Close your eyes if you can, or just soften your gaze. We're going somewhere now, somewhere sacred, somewhere safe. I want you to imagine this room you're in becoming still, the noise fading, the pressure lifting, like time slowing down, just for you. Now picture this. The air changes. It becomes warm, gentle, holy. And without needing to see it, you know, Jesus has entered the room. He walks in slowly, not rushing, not demanding anything, just being near. His footsteps are quiet, but your soul feels them, like comfort settling in bones that have forgotten what peace feels like. He comes close, sits beside you, not saying a word at first, not forcing a prayer, just being here. And in that stillness you feel it. A hand, soft, steady, reaches for yours. And in his touch you feel the words you were too afraid to speak. I know they left. I know they forgot, but I never did. Tears begin to rise, but this time you don't hold them back. Because here, it's safe to cry. Jesus sees them, each tear tracing down your skin, and he doesn't flinch. He gently wipes one away with his thumb and whispers, "These are not wasted. They are sacred." You look up at him, and his eyes, full of more tenderness than you've ever known, look back at you. No disappointment, no frustration, just love. Deep, unwavering, endless love. He pulls you gently into an embrace, not rushed, not symbolic, but real. And in his arms, your body softens, your breath deepens, the weight begins to lift. You feel him whisper at your ear, "You were never forgotten. You were not abandoned. I stayed. I always stay." And suddenly, that empty space inside you, the one they left behind, it begins to fill, not with noise, not with distraction, but with presence, with him. Let yourself rest there, just for a moment longer. No expectations, no effort, just his love, wrapping around you like the blanket you've been searching for your whole life. And if you need more time, you can stay here. This place is always open. He's not in a hurry, and neither are we. Just breathe, just be, and let his closeness be the healing your soul didn't know it was waiting for. You're still here, and that means something. Not everyone would have stayed. Not everyone could have held on this long, but you did, even with the cracks, even through the forgetting, even when the silence was louder than the love you gave. You stayed, and now, so does he. Jesus doesn't walk away when others grow bored. He doesn't grow distant when your sadness stretches long. He doesn't move on just because you're hard to understand. He remains, not for a season, but for always. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. Can I speak something over you now? Whispered from heaven's heart to yours. You are not the absence they left behind. You are not the reason they walked away. You are not invisible. You are not forgotten. You are seen. You are held. You are loved by a God who calls you by name, even when others forget it. Even if my father and mother abandon me, the Lord will hold me close. Psalm 27:10. You are not what they didn't see. You are not the silence they gave you. You are God's beloved, handcrafted, held together by mercy, filled with eternal worth that no one can erase with their absence. Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. Psalm 126-5. Yes, even these tears, even these nights, God is still writing, even after the chapter they closed, even after they walked out of the page. And He's not done with your story. Not now, not ever. If you're still listening, this part is for you. You don't need to chase after the ones who forgot you. You don't need to keep proving your worth staying for. You already are. In Heaven's eyes, you were always worth it. And you still are. So if the sleep hasn't come yet, start this prayer again. Let it wash over you. Let it hold you. This is not just for tonight. It's for every time the silence gets loud again. For every time the ache creeps back in. This voice, these words, this presence, they'll still be here, waiting, like He always does. You can come back anytime. This peace doesn't leave when the voice goes quiet, and neither does He. If this prayer reached you, if it touched something deep that no one else saw, you can whisper in the comments, "I'm still here, Lord." I'll be praying for you. And if this voice felt like home, if these words wrapped around your pain like a quiet shelter, you can like this video. You can subscribe, not for numbers, but so this prayer finds others too. Others who feel forgotten, but are still seen by heaven. And if the ache returns again, if the silence starts to grow loud, you can always come back. Replay this. Let it hold you again. This prayer is for now, for later, for every time it hurts. Even after the voice fades, this peace stays, and so does He. He always stays.